What's going on, folks? So the band Crystal Gates has released another new song here called Ocean Winds. I'm really excited here. This band, I really like them a lot, and they never really disappoint. So I'm excited. Without further ado, let's just give it a listen and see what we got here, shall we? Rangers, go.
From chaos we rise to
great stuff here. Like I said, I mean, Crystal Gates, they really don't disappoint. I mean, just the sheer quality of their music and everything is just it's just so good. And I mean, those vocals, like, wow. I mean, she just has such an incredible voice. Like, I just really, really love her voice, and the band, it's like they kind of ride the line between like power metal and symphonic metal, often, integrating the two. And she does such a wonderful job with both. When a song is more on the power metal side, or a moment's more on the power metal side, she does such a great job. And when it's more on kind of the symphonic metal side, she does such a great job. I mean, she just has such a awesome voice. Like, I just really, really love her voice. And the band, like, they have a unique sort of sound and quality to their music, and I just love it. I just love it. It's just, I always find it cool when a band can really kind of have like their own personality, and style and sound, where even though the songs may not sound like exactly the same, or the song, did I say sounds or songs? I don't know. The songs don't necessarily sound exactly the same or anything like that, but you could hear just that it's Crystal Gates. Like, it's them. And that's just really awesome. And I just love that sound of theirs that they have. So the only thing, like, I really, really enjoyed, like, the whole song. The only little thing that threw me off in the very, very beginning, well, first of all, I love that main kind of riff. Bum, 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 bum. It was really cool, and it really suited the vibe of this being kind of a seafaring adventure, like an ocean-based thing, which, speaking of which, I sidetracked again, but I thought the video was really cool. I loved how it was kind of like a porthole, from a ship that you're looking out at and out from, and you see like these nice like seascapes and oceanscapes and all this different stuff. So I thought that was really neat. But yeah, that main riff that starts right in the beginning really captured that vibe, which I thought was awesome. Like, even if you didn't know per se that the song was called Ocean Winds, or you couldn't see the visuals from the video or whatnot, if this song came on, you'd hear that intro and be like, oh, okay, this is like a seafaring kind of thing here. And so that's always awesome when just the music itself can capture the theme of the song without you hearing any lyrics or knowing anything about it. So that was cool. But anyway, so the only thing that threw me off, and this was just right in the very beginning, is the transition between that main riff into the first verse. It felt jarring. Like, it didn't feel like it smoothly kind of transitioned into the verses. Like, the two, it felt like they almost clashed. So, it just felt like it shifted too much for it to be kind of like a seamless transition from that main opening riff into the first verse. But after that, it was cool. And I listened for it, when after the first chorus and that main riff starts again, I was like, okay, how are they going to handle it this time? Is it going to be the same thing? But they added like a brief little pause there before the verses started. And I thought that was cool. I thought that worked, aside from having to kind of add an extra little something in between the two to kind of bridge the gap. They went for just like a brief little pause, but it broke it up enough to where you didn't have that kind of jarring thing, because you have that riff and there's like the brief pause and then the verses start. So it didn't clash as much, So yeah, I thought that was a nice thing that they did. Now, I'm not always the big fan of like just pauses in general, but sometimes they can definitely work. And in this case, I thought that did, because it rectified the issue I had in the very beginning of the song. Anywho, so I really like the verses and stuff, but then where the song really starts to take off for me is like the pre-chorus. I love the vocal melody and the pre-chorus. I thought it was lovely, and her voice is awesome, and it starts taking on a bit more of magical or like fantastical vibe. Like it starts building up into the more of a, again, just melodic and what's the word I'm looking for? The verses have a bit of a, they're more like down here. They're going, but then it starts to like kind of ramp up into its more kind of fantastical sort of feel. And that's, to me, that kind of started with the pre-chorus, which I loved. And then you get to the chorus. And it's funny because the first time I heard the chorus, I was like, this is a nice chorus, but like it felt like it could do a little bit more. But then the next time I heard the chorus, I was like, oh, you know what? Like, this is pretty awesome. Like, I'm really enjoying this. And I think part of that is all the little elements that they put into it behind just the vocal melody in the chorus. And one thing I think is that the symphonic elements in this song were used beautifully, like just beautifully. They never like overtake the song, but they're there, and it just helps create that first of all depth to the song, and also just that kind of fantastical feel, and it just contributes so much. And then like the keyboard going, it was just really, really lovely how all that came together and to create a mood and all that good stuff. And then you get the bridge, which I thought was pretty cool because, it has multiple different sections. Like it has kind of like keeping kind of with that fantastical theme with the symphonics and stuff like that. And then it kind of gets heavy, because it feels like it's kind of building up. It's fantastical, with the symphonics and all that good stuff. And then it gets kind of like these heavy riffs, which was pretty cool. And then you kind of get like some solos, and I mean the guitar solo was tight, and all that. So there was a lot of movement throughout the bridge, which I thought was really cool. And then the vocals and stuff kind of come back in, and it was an interesting way to end the song too, because it wasn't like just like two more choruses. There was kind of a little bit of a different melody there. And lyrics and stuff like that. But again, it's just all propelled so well with just the keyboard, the symphonic stuff, and everything. Oh, and then like the drums were doing like this really cool. I think this was also part of the bridge. Really cool kind of fills and beat and stuff like that that I really, really enjoyed. So that got to shine a bit as well. And then it kind of ends with a last little thing of that main riff, which was great. So yeah, I just thought it was a well-constructed song. Just that one little moment in the very beginning, like I said, the transition between the riff into the verse, I thought could have been smoothed out just a little bit. But aside from that, I thought the structure was well done. The arrangements, like particularly like the symphonic stuff and everything, was lovely. Great guitar riffs, a great guitar solo, cool drum work, all that good stuff. And then the vocals, of course, were just wonderful. So not disappointed at all. This song is another just really solid song. I always look forward to more music from Crystal Gates. But so anywho, that's that. Let me know, folks, in the comments down below, what do you think of this song here? I know they have like a new EP that's like on the way. This was like the second single from their new EP, so there's that to look forward to. But anywho, let me know, folks, in the comments below what you think of this, and I'll catch you next time. Ranger out.